We are here with Dean Rogers, and we are here also with Stratton, one of my good friends. I've known Stratton for how long have I known you? Probably 8 years?
8 years. I've known you for a long time.
Okay, cool. You guys came in from Fresno. You don't live in Fresno, do you?
SoCal.
You live in SoCal. You live in Fresno. Every time I see you is in Fresno because you guys are partners in Dill Champs, correct?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And we'll touch base on that. But guys, stick around for the show. These guys are real estate investors. They teach a lot of amazing people how to become real estate investors and build businesses that allow them to get freedom and liberate themselves from the bull crap of a 9-to-5 job at some point. They hang out with a lot of cool people, Michael Zuber and some other people as well. I met you through Steve Trang.
Yeah.
Shout out Steve Trang, Asian gang. Love that man. Okay, so at what point do you get a plane? Good question.
At what point do you get a plane with how much traveling you're doing?
Okay, so I spend probably on commercial flights, I'd say 30 grand a month. Okay, and that's probably 2 or 3 flights a week.
Just your typical airlines and stuff like that?
Yeah, like American Airlines, Delta, whatever. And I of course I do first class when it's possible. But I've done charter, I've done semi-private, and then I have a lot of friends that have private planes. So here's the difference for people in the audience. Let's say that I want to fly from Phoenix to Dallas. If I go commercial, American Airlines first class, round trip ticket, let's just call it $800 to $1,200 in that range, first class ticket.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. The benefit, the pro to this is that it's 100% write-off. So that's kind of nice. The other pro to this is that they fly so frequently. I can jump on a flight. I don't have to worry about like, oh, what if something changes? I got to text a pilot and it was a charter and they're waiting for me. There's just so many flights. And if for some reason something happens, there's more flights the next day. I'm not burning money, right? Type of thing. Cool. So that's commercial. Then you go to let's go to charter. So charter, if I'm going to charter a plane and I share that with other people, there's guys that'll go, all right, let's get a plane that's like $30,000 and let's all throw $5,000 in and we all, participate in the flight, right? Well, there is 30 grand, back is 30 grand. Waste of freaking money.
Dude,
It's a lot of cash.
You burn through money so fast, okay? So how do I know this? Well, I have friends like Steve Harward. I'm sure you guys are friends with Steve Harward, owner of PCS, by the way. Sets up your LLC. If you guys need LLCs, go to startwithprime.com. They're awesome. So Steve goes and buys 2 planes. And I'll text him when I'm in a jam. I go, I need your jet. I need access to this thing. I have a problem. Something popped up. I need your plane. He's like, no problem. My plane's out doing whatever it's doing, but I'll connect you with a charter company. Cool. So I started doing that with Steve like 5 years ago. There was this situation where I needed to be in Montana 5 years ago. And a plane, I text Steve's contact. He gets me a plane. They go, don't worry about it. We'll bill you in a couple of days when we're, bro, me, Jamil, my kids, we fly up there. It's a 3-hour flight. I get a bill like 3 weeks later. It's $37,000. Now, weirdly, it was actually worth the $37,000. The weird situation I was in. This was perfectly fine. But like, who is doing that on a normal
regular basis?
You have to have so much cash coming in at all times.
Yes, it is an irresponsible amount of money to spend until you have an irresponsible amount of money coming in, right? So that's chartering.
Which is still a waste.
Still a waste. Now, here's where it will make sense, and I'll answer the question. But for some people that want to fly private or ask me this question all the time, like, don't you have enough money to do this? I'm like, I don't have any money ever. It's always tied up in something, right? So that's charter. Semi-private is now us 3 go and buy like a King Air. We go spend $6 million on a King Air. We get our pilots. We have a hangar. We got insurance. And we split the cost, right? Semi-private. So it's not just my jet, but we're sharing. It's like split ownership. You're spending minimum every single month. And somebody that's going to argue with me in the comments is dead wrong. I've seen the numbers on multiple people's things. My neighbor across the street owns a King Air, and he bought Trump's helicopter. Like this guy has got he's got money, right? He had an exit for like $300 million. He's got like money. And I've seen all the numbers, and I know exactly what semi-private is. If we were splitting a plane, we're all chipping in $60,000 a month, whether we fly or we don't. Okay,
Sucks.
And they're like, "Oh no, that you're operating your fuel." It's like, no. You have maintenance, you have pilot costs,
hangar fees,
insurance, hangar fees. These planes have to be inspected yearly at a very expensive amount of money. It's crazy what goes on with these planes. So that's semi-private. Then when you go to private, so one of my best friends, a mentor of mine, Ken McElroy. You guys know Ken McElroy. He's the guy that Yeah, OG. He manages Robert Kiyosaki stuff. His fund, his multifamily fund, this is where it makes sense, pays for his jet, his planes, and all that kind of stuff. It's an expense, part of the management cost. He's $200,000 a month, whether he flies that plane or not. So there is a point, and I think it's that your company makes so much money from management fees or whatever else, and the company benefits from you flying private because it can get to an asset quickly. And
that was the thing I was like, so
that's
how many times is he flying out people on like a weekly
all the
basis?
time.
Just, hey, here's something we're looking at.
His acquisition team is flying to assets almost every 2 days. So they're going out and looking at spots and putting in LOIs, and they want to meet the sellers in person. And so they look at that expense as a justifiable expense. And I go, that's when it makes sense. That's when it makes sense. So like right now in my company, we're building car washes and we're buying land. So we've got 3 under contract in Yuma and other places. Like, I don't need to go see land. He needs to go see 500 units and see how it's operating and meeting the leasing officers and all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm probably 5 years away from our car wash business being large enough that I could justify the expense, because now we'll be buying on like the East Coast or something. Why
car wash? Is that everything? Like, what was the reasoning?
Great question. I want to interview you guys today, but
sorry.
The reason for the car washes is because there's an evolution to all of this. Like, you guys are doing wholesale, you're doing fixing and flipping, you're doing some buy and hold, right? Your students are doing that as well. There's an evolution of like, okay, I've done those things and now I have systems in place, right? Like, you just met Taya, and she's part of my all women team, 10 women that manage my assets and my portfolio. And there's a point where you're like, I don't, the last apartment building I bought, I didn't make the call. I didn't negotiate. I didn't do the paperwork. I didn't raise the money. I don't manage the asset. It's like, I don't know the address. I don't know anything. And it's just going in the portfolio. Okay, well, where do I spend my time? I want to learn. I want to expand. And so I met a billionaire. You guys should have him on your show, maybe on your stage. His name's Vic Keller.
Okay.
Okay. I'll introduce you guys to him. Amazing dude. Vic Keller sold 7 businesses to Warren Buffett in 2016 for $7.7 billion.
Oh boy.
Yeah, big boy. And he did this at the age of like 42.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So now he's 50. So this is a little bit ago. One of the businesses he sold was a car wash business. And so he knows the car wash business in and out. And he signs a non-compete with Warren Buffett, who bought the businesses, that he can't do anything until like 2024, right? We're buying these businesses, non-compete, you can't do anything. So what Vic did, he's a really smart dude. He goes, I want to get back into car washes, and I'll tell you the reason why. But for me, the reason why is because I have Vic Keller. Vic goes, I'm going to go buy a car wash manufacturing company. So all the guts that are inside of a car wash company, he goes and buys the company that builds all the equipment. Then he goes and buys the chemical company. Then he goes and buys the payment processor. Then he goes and buys the automation
Super
stuff.
vertically integrated.
So he now has the full back end of the car wash business. Therefore, he's not competing on owning car washes. He does this for 8 years. Then he finally, his non-compete gets released, and he's like, all right, I'm going gangbusters. I meet him through Tony Robbins, introduces me to him.
Right.
And Vic and I are having a conversation, and he goes, well, I want to go build 5,000 car washes in the next 10 years, but I don't have local deputies in the whole entire country that can run the permits, the zoning, the this, the that. I go, you know what I have? The largest real estate deputy thing. I could create deputies in every single city in the country. Let's partner together. So in the last 60 days, we bought 100 car washes.
Already.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would never be venturing into that without a really strong mentor, a really smart person, way, way smarter than me, can let me use his credibility. So this goes into Deal Champs, right? Like, you guys have, are you guys primarily focusing in Fresno, or you guys are everywhere?
We're growing.
Okay, you're going nationwide.
We started in Central California.
Okay,
right?
And that was because of the meetups, right?
Because of the meetups. It was just a local meetup thing. We wanted to organically grow that. We pretty much followed the playbook that you and others laid out with the Phoenix market and how you guys grew that, right? So that was really our mission, is wanting to add value back to people and create opportunities to collaborate and work together, right? As we saw just the energy grow and grow and grow, we saw, well, other people want to be a part of this too. So we've taken it outside of California.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So running meetups, I know the benefits of meetups. You guys know the benefits of meetups, but people here are like, why would I run a meetup and why would I go to a meetup? What's the value I should receive if I go to a meetup? Like, let's say I show up to a Deal Champs event.
Yeah.
What am I getting?
So hands down, if you're trying to do this on your own, it's just so hard. It's just so hard. There's so much information out there. It's really confusing to know what to focus on. And we know this is a relationship business. So by not building relationships, you're already holding yourself back tremendously, right? So by going to a meetup, you're going to not only meet people who are like-minded, who believe in what you believe in, right? Just the idea of being an entrepreneur and doing something like real estate investing to 90% of America or the world is risky. It's crazy. Yeah. So your prior belief system, the people that are around you, your family, they probably are discouraging you from doing the thing that's going to change your life and give you the life you really want.
If you guys have somebody discouraging you, put their name in the comments. We want to know. We're gonna criticize them back.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that probably is a really significant problem that people have. And I call it people's BS. You call it their belief system.
Yeah.
Their BS is maybe this isn't possible for me. What have you?
Yeah.
It's interesting. There's free meetups, which you guys are running those. Then there's paid environments where it's like pay to play. I want to be around higher level people.
Mm-hmm.
And the money is the filter to be like, hey, are you serious about this?
Right.
Exactly.
I had a hard time. Like I actually saw Carlos Reyes today in the airport. You guys know Carlos Reyes?
Yeah.
Carlos Reyes was one of the first people I paid $5,000 to be like in a 1-day boot camp with them.
When he was doing those big ones?
Yep, he was doing big ones. And I had already done probably 500 wholesale deals, but I was in the home investor world, which is very isolated and they do all the marketing for you. So I go, all right, well, I want to go pay somebody for an event. Dude, I was going to free meetups at the time and they were very valuable. But the second I spent $5,000 to get around other people that were able to commit to a $5,000 thing, holy crap, it changed. And I'll give people in the side comments why this is so important. By the way, how can people get to your meetups?
So our meetups that we run locally in Central California, we have a meetup called Central California Real Estate Investing Group.
Okay, how do I get there?
You can go find us on Facebook or meetup.com.
Okay, we'll put a link down there below if you guys are in Fresno, like Central. You guys call that the Central Valley?
Central Valley.
Bottom of Sacramento down to Bakersfield.
Okay, cool. So when I go to a free meetup, which are highly valuable, they're 1,000 times better than ChatGPT or YouTube or what have you.
Yeah.
ChatGPT can kind of tell you like, oh yeah, go knock 100 doors, go do this, go do that. It's going to tell you like some steps. But you're not going to get positive feedback or negative feedback on what you're doing from ChatGPT. It's not out in the field with you.
Yeah.
When I got into a meetup, I met other people who were knocking doors successfully. And I was like, oh, cool. Can I go with you?
Right.
And then I'm now out in the field. I get to be in the environment. I feel the energy. It's a night and day difference between free content and a free meetup is like worth millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Then you go from a free meetup to like, hey, I want to join Deal Champs, right? I want to be part of Deal Champs. Here's the difference. I go to a free meetup and I go, I'm trying to raise $1 million. And the person I'm talking to also goes, yeah, I'm trying to raise $1 million too. I go into a $5,000 room or a $10,000 room and I go, I'm trying to raise $1 million. The person in that room goes, I got $1 million. There's a difference between the type of people that you're usually kind of creating different spaces for them.
Right.
You guys have a free meetup. You also have other things that people can participate in. What else do you guys have?
So we got Deal Champs community. So people that join that, they get access to that information that might be talked about at a meetup, right? You might see on YouTube, but the big thing that I think we all know is when you get on YouTube, you can see a lot of different information. You're not sure which one to focus on.
It's overwhelming.
There's this strategy, that strategy, right? But you get into a program, now it's very focused, it's structured, and you get to just laser and focus in. Just like we're all in here trying to always learn.
Yeah.
I'm a part of 3 different masterminds and coaching programs right now just this year because I'm trying to level up and learn. So it allows you to just be very focused and get that dialed in, and then you get the support around it too. So just like you said, you can ask ChatGPT questions, but who knows what that information, where it's coming from, right? But when you're actually working on a problem in a real life situation, you can have somebody who's been through that experience can help guide you through it and deal with the complexities or the nuances of it. Now you have something that's priceless.
What would you say to somebody that has watched 100 YouTube videos? They've gone to the meetup. They still haven't taken action. Anything that you see as like a common thing that's keeping them from taking action?
We'll all say the same thing here.
Consume any more information, you need to take action.
It's your biggest teacher is the action that you take and that experience, right? You need to learn. You need to be consuming and learning, but your biggest teacher is going to be you actually taking the action and growing through that and feeling what that actually looks and feels like. That's where you're going to get the biggest benefit.
Okay, so it's kind of like being a football player. You're a football player.
Yep.
Everybody can tell.
He's no good.
He's good.
He's no good.
If you compare him to me, he's good.
He's
I
no
can tell you that right now.
I was better.
If you look at it from a football perspective, it's like people watching game tape, but like never getting on the field.
Yeah.
Never catching a ball, never getting hit, never putting the pads on, never feeling what it feels like to actually have to run and dodge. And you guys don't call it dodging, do you?
There's no dodging in football.
There's no dodging. What do we call it?
Maybe a juke.
A juke. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe a
Juking.
juke.
Okay.
Maybe a juke.
So it's that exact thing, right? It's like people are watching the game tape, then maybe they go to like a scrimmage and they watch other people do it. That's a meetup. That's kind of nice and it helps. And it's like in the forward momentum, but actually getting in the game and playing the game and getting hit a couple of times is what people really.
So this analogy is really good. So you watch the game film, you're learning, you're understanding it, but you don't know what it actually looks and feels like. You go take action, you get in the game, you're in practice, you're in the game, you see what it looks like and it feels like, and you're learning through that experience, right? Then you have a coach who's actually going to help you understand how you can get better, what you should have done, what you can do next time, get into the strategy and the mindset and all of those different things so that next time you're in that situation, you know how to do it better, right? They've been there, they've done that, they've coached other people, they've done it themselves. That's the benefit of being a part of a community is you get the game film, you get in the game, and you get the support and the coaching around all of that.
I love it. Okay, so you guys are expanding nationwide.
Yeah.
What's the challenge with that as business owners? Like, what's the challenge? Is it getting awareness? Is it hiring the right people? What is it that you guys are currently facing with or face with challenge?
I'd say step one is awareness.
I'd say for sure awareness, because when you meet people in person, that connection is completely different than they see you on social media. And you know this better than anybody else, right? Because like in Central California, everybody knows it's like I've shaken everybody's hands. I have conversations with them. It's a lot harder to do that when someone from the East Coast is like, hey, I'm interested in this. And they haven't necessarily met you before and had that real life connection. That real life connection, I think, is crazy. And we got that from you of just mastering it, going everywhere we can, talking to people.
Who do you think is the best person at content in the world? Besides Hermosi, like who teaches?
Grant obviously is been up there.
How about Gary Vee?
He's pretty good at it.
Yeah, Gary Vee.
Okay, so Gary, I was texting Gary Vee a couple of days ago, and the thing I told him was this. Okay, look at the last thing I told him was the last sentence I sent to him.
In person is the ultimate social media.
In person is the ultimate social media. And, he's talked about this too, like going out and meeting the people. Now, either one of you guys biblical at all?
Yep.
Okay. So I can't remember the Bible verse, but I'm going to pull this up real fast. Prophet in his own land. Have you guys heard this one?
No.
Okay. This is good for you where you guys are at. Okay. Luke. Oh, so good. Luke 4:24. Truly, I tell you, no prophet is accepted in his own hometown. But I tell you, anyway, basically it's talking about, this whole entire thing talks about like the people that watch you come up are not going to respect you as much because they're like, well, yeah, I saw Stratton 8 years ago. Yeah. I saw who he was.
You've told us this before, actually.
Yep. And like what I learned was when we started doing local meetups here in Phoenix, Arizona, we got big enough to the point where we were creating a domino effect and changing the ecosystem of Arizona real estate. And the people in Arizona real estate were like, wait. I knew you when you were asking me how to get started, and you would come into my office and I was kind of a to you. And now all of a sudden you're over here creating energy and it's taking energy from me because people are not coming to my meetup. They're going to your meetup. Have you guys experienced any of this yet?
No, because we were kind of the only ones running meetups.
Dominate that.
So in our market in Phoenix, this was a significant problem. And so Jamil and I, back in 2018, we were like, this is a problem. Like people are pissed off that we are gaining attention here. And then somebody tells me, hey, have you read Luke 4:24? And I go, no. I go read it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I then go up on YouTube and I'm like, help me understand this from a standpoint of like, what does this mean from a business standpoint? Well, the second you go outside of your town, the big cool people in that town are like, let's collaborate, because they don't know your whole back history. They just know where you currently are and they look at you as a peer. The people that are, let's say, the millionaires in town, when you started out not a millionaire, you then rise to become a millionaire. Your growth has far exceeded not that you've exceeded them this way, but your speed of growth has exceeded their speed of growth and you've caught up to them. There's this weird thing that happens in your local town that these people will now resent you and cause issues for you. Yes, you might not have that problem. But what was amazing is that as we started going around the country, and Jamil and I would like get in our little minivan and we cruise around and shake hands and kiss babies. In fact, Fresno is a stop we made 7 years ago, where you and I became friends a long time ago. And you will be accepted so much faster in a different town than you will be in your own. It's the weirdest thing. Now you're in SoCal. So like if you started doing a SoCal area meetup and your friends know you and all that kind of stuff, like what are you up to? What are you doing? It's kind of nice that you go up to Fresno to go do this. Yep. So anyway, good advice for people that are like, hey, I want to go out and expand my brand and you want to get out and shake babies and kiss hands or whatever you want to call it. You got to get out, go to different markets. So what does that mean for you guys? Is it all going to be digital or are you guys going to drive around, do pop-up meetups? What are you guys thinking about doing?
We've been doing a lot of pop-up meetups.
Okay.
Like we started off and it was like, okay, if we can take over California, that should be like the first target.
Okay.
Like if you can go and have like a bunch in California, that is one of the biggest markets in the world, period. So if we can meet all these people in Southern California, San Diego, LA, go up to Sacramento, go up to the Bay, that's what we can start with. And then we can start going bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay,
cool. And do you guys have a meetup schedule or anything like that? Or are you guys just doing a random?
We've been going on tour.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've been pounding the pavement in California.
I love it. This is me and Jamil, like 2016, 17, 18. Like this is freaking awesome.
So we were just with Jamil and he was saying how he's excited because you guys are about to go on tour.
Yeah, we're doing the stupidest thing we've ever done before.
Now, are you excited about it? Or is it a distraction? Or what is it for you?
What is the Pacer master plan in that?
I mean, if you got time, I could tell you.
I know there's a Pacer master plan in that.
There's like it's a 3-year. I'm actually warming up to something I'm doing in 3 years. So like this tour that we're about to go on.
You're taking the whole family, right?
Taking the whole family. I'll be on the road for 122 days. Jamil will pop in on cities that he hasn't been to. He's getting engaged and he's got some things going on in his life that he can't just go dedicate 5.5 months to the road.
Yep.
So
he's got to make babies.
He's got to make babies. Yeah, he really does.
He's behind.
Yeah, he really does.
I'm already 5 deep. You're
4 deep. And my wife was just texting me yesterday. She's like, "You think maybe
you going for more?
I'd like to. Yeah."
She's itching for more, huh?
How many you want to go? Because I know you
got the coconut oil or what?
Oh, 100, bro.
Dude, stocked up.
I actually have a good story for you. So I'm in Boston. You guys know Cody Sperber, Bryant Applis, good friends of mine, and I'm in Boston probably 4 or 5 years ago. I'm at a mastermind. Avengers mastermind, and we're late night out on the streets, me, Jamil, Brian Applis, and a guy named John Rulin. And sadly, John Rulin is no longer alive. But John Rulin owned a company called Giftology. And so he was like the master gift giver.
Book.
Yeah. So that's his book. I'm hanging out with John. We're in downtown Boston. We're chatting and we bring up coconut oil. Like, hey, are you guys having sex with coconut oil? And Bryant is like, that's not real. That's not freaking real. There's no way. And he's like, well, my wife would be so upset if I tried to like bring this to her and whatever else. Okay. So this conversation goes on for like 40 minutes, right? Like, what are you using coconut oil for type of thing? I get home. There's a pallet of coconut oil, a pallet, like literally a forklift. A guy, I'm like, what the freak is going on? It was a letter from John Rulin. He's just amazing at giving gifts, right? So I got like 50 buckets of coconut oil delivered to my house. And I'm like, I will use this. And Bryant sends a text in the group chat and he's like, what the heck? There's a forklift at my house. My wife is freaking out. Why do I have all this coconut oil? It was John Rulin sent him also a pallet of coconut oil. Anyway, John Rulin, this is lesson in this is like, this dude was just so amazing, so powerful, so cool. And just on a hike one day, had a heart attack at like 46 years old and died.
Brutal.
No.
Super brutal. Life is short, guys. So you got to do crazy stuff all the time. Hit the pavement, do the things, right? So if I come up with an idea, I think of people like John Ruhlin or maybe other people in my life. You guys have all had people pass in your life that you go, I can't wait. If I have an idea, I just put it on the calendar and say I'm doing this. So what I'm doing is I am testing a theory that I think people don't believe that they can do a real estate deal in their town. Okay. It's weird because people go, well, yeah, of course you're doing deals in Phoenix because that's where everybody is. Everybody does deals in Phoenix. I live in Des Moines, Iowa. I live in Fargo, North Dakota. I'm like, I have people in every part of the country doing deals. So what I'm doing on this tour is I'm doing 109 cities that people have told me they can't do deals in.
You're going to the sticks.
I'm going to the sticks. I'm going to Fargo, North Dakota. I'm going to like random cities. Okay. And what we're doing is I'm guaranteeing that I cannot leave that city until I do a deal with somebody who's never done a deal. And I have to do this 122 days in a row. So basically what I'm doing is I'm creating a nationwide map so that going forward, somebody goes, well, I live in Saratoga Springs, or I live in blah, blah, blah. I live in Colorado. I live this part of blah, 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 Durango. I'm like, well, here's a map and here's a YouTube video of every single city I went to. And here's all the content for free to prove to you that in 90 minutes, I got somebody their first deal. So that is the warm up to what I'm actually trying to do, which is going to take 36 months. And we're just going to just go crazy. It's wintertime. So it's like the time where nobody's going to be out traveling and they're not doing summer vacations. They're all going to be hunkered down at home. So we're going to give them something to come to.
You need to drive that tour bus through snow?
Mm-hmm. I have a driver that's going to drive us. Yeah. It's crazy. Like what I'm doing is I'll do a meetup every city. The driver will leave that city at 9:00 and then we'll be in the new city by midnight. We'll sleep in the bus. I wake up at, let's say 8:00, work out, do my thing. And then that day, what my goal is, did you guys meet Maddie, the homeless lady out here? Did you guys see
didn't
that?
get a chance to meet her.
Okay, cool. So,
of course, seeing all the content and stuff, but
yeah, she's got her first car.
Yeah.
She's been complaining, like, I don't have a car. I'm like, well, then learn how to do seller finance on a freaking car. She's got her first car. What I'm doing is I'm writing a book called Start Here. I am so tired of answering the question, how do I get started?
And you love answering the question, though.
I do. But I'm like, I need to find the top 5 demographics of people that are constantly saying, I can't do it. So like a single mom, a wounded vet. Well, Pace, you don't understand. I'm a vet. You don't understand me, right? I hear all this kind of stuff. So I've got 5 demographics. One of them is like, I have nothing. I have literally no money. I'm living in my mom's basement. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to find a homeless person. And I'm going to prove to you that that person, by taking action from being educated, that person can get a deal. So now what I'm doing is these other 4 people, I'm going in search for them on the road. And when they're at meetups and I meet them, I'm going to be like, you're my person. I'll then finish the tour. And if the tour doesn't help them get their first deal, I will move to their house until they get a deal. And that will be like a part of my book. So me, my wife, and my kids will like move next door.
So this journey is part of the book?
Yeah, part of the book, yeah. It's looking for the people. It's basically like what I'll do is it's chapter 1, 2, and 3 is about Maddie. Chapter 4 is get to a meetup. Like if you are still stuck after reading chapter 1, 2, and 3, then step 4 should be go to a meetup. So the book is going to be about, here's a chapter of all the places I went. Here's the videos of all the people I helped. Okay, great. Well, these people still couldn't get to their first deal. So now I'm going to move to these people's houses that all have 4 distinct problems. And one of them is that I'll be looking for is somebody who can barely speak English, and I'll show them that they can get a deal in America. I know some people are like, why are you helping people that don't speak English? Kiss my. So I'm looking for those people on the tour, and then I'll spend the next 12 months writing my book, and then I'm done. I'm never going to answer the question of how do I get started again. I'm like, here's the book. Here's the content. Here's the thing. Ask me any other question besides how do I get started? But meetups are like a big part of it. And what you guys are doing, there's nobody else doing this in real estate. Nobody else is doing meetups in real estate other than like, I'm a local RIA, and it's the same gosh dang people that keep coming to the ones.
Yeah, that's what makes it so hard.
And then what they do is they feel like they own the city and nobody else is allowed to teach anything, and it's like their thing. Like you guys are going to change the game if you guys are doing pop-ups, because then you need to have people that hold those meetups for you when you're not there. And it creates its own culture that does not require you.
Yeah.
And it lives and it breathes and it expands and it does cool things. And I imagine that's what you guys are trying to do. Right?
Sounds like that's what you guys did.
We did that, yeah. It's hard. It's really, really hard.
It's hard.
It's hard because like nobody understands like, why would I run a meetup? What do I get out of running a meetup?
It's hard to show them that there actually is benefits because there's no direct monetary benefit.
Right.
But then there's a bunch of other ancillary benefits that you get. You just have to be a little bit patient.
And you have to be smart about it. Like, you know, you go to masterminds, and so you get into a mastermind with high-level people. You're not going in there like, all right, give me my notepad and my pen and paper. I'm here to learn. It's like, no, you're here to network with other people that were able to get into the room, right? So you're strategic. If I spend money to get into a mastermind, I'm going to go, who are these people that could all write a check for $100,000? Or one of the masterminds I'm in is $250,000 a year. That mastermind, there's only 40 people in there. I will make sure that I know everything about those 40 people that also wrote a check for $250,000.
What are the biggest lessons you learned from that mastermind?
I mean, it's just a reminder. Well, here's my first lesson. The first day I was there was a gentleman that walks in, new to the mastermind, and he just sold the company for like $400 million. And he walks in, he's 62 years old, and he goes, all right, guys, I'm ready to start my life. I'm going to get a woman, and I'm going to start having children. 62. Here's what I learned from that. I've already won.
Yeah.
You've already won. You've already won. Like, go sell a company for $600 million. I already have more value in my life than you could ever go get. My best years of my life are right now. Whether I'm worth $1 trillion or $0, having kids and a happy wife and a healthy, world. Yeah. That was the first lesson I learned. Is like, okay, there's a lot of really wealthy people in here that are missing purpose in their life. They just chase the almighty dollar. Then there's other people in there. I've learned other amazing, powerful lessons that are like, there's a gentleman in there. I go, what do you do for a living? And he goes, I get paid to solve problems. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, name a problem. I go, I want to raise $25 million. He goes, great. Let me text. He goes, I text people to solve your problem and I get paid. I'm like, that's what you do? That's all you do? He goes, yeah. How many contacts do you have in your phone? I go, I think I have 7,000 probably in my phone. And he was like, okay, well, here's my 120,000 contacts in my phone. He has them all categorized by like, who can raise money? Who buys multifamily? Who does this? And what's funny is he knows all of them. He knows the stories of them. He has
impressive.
He has 3 people that all they do is they nurture these relationships, these 120,000 relationships. They're texting them on their birthday.
His business model.
It's his whole business model.
That's pretty wild.
It's wild. Okay. His name's Randy.
That's pretty cool.
It's insane. And
do you think you would enjoy doing something like that, or it just wouldn't be purposeful enough?
He's the one. There's 2 people in the whole world I think can do that. And he's one of them. I've met both of them. And it's like, you're built to be that person. You just remember every detail about every single person. And so like, I go, what do you do for a living? He goes, like when the football team moves to Vegas or this deal gets happened and a sports team moves from here to here. And I go, yeah. And he goes, I'm the person that people text to make sure that they contact the person that will solve that problem for them. And I wedge myself into every single deal. And I'm like, wow. And he goes, you ever hear about the robot that did heart surgery on a such and such unsupervised like 3 weeks ago? I go, yeah. He goes, I was the person that found the guy that had the technology, and I found the person that had the money to pour into the thing, and I brokered the deal and I did it. I'm like, holy crap. He goes, you name a problem, I can solve it with one text. That's what I do to make money.
That's wild.
Wild. Well, it's not,
Have you tapped into that guy? Like either one of those guys?
Yeah, that's how. So like with Randy is like the main person that helped me broker with Vic Keller, the car wash guy.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So Randy put me in touch with Vic Keller, the car wash guy, the guy that sold billions of dollars. That was Randy originally. And then Vic wouldn't take me super seriously until Tony then was like, no, like Randy's not lying. Pace is legit. You should have dinner with him. But that originally came from Randy. And so I don't know how much money I'll make from that one text.
I mean, you guys have already bought 100 car washes.
They're in the pipeline. We have 6 that we're going to start construction on soon. Got 100 LOIs. Or not 100 LOIs. What's great is we structured them to say they're under contract. We don't have to close until permits
are these all new projects, or are they like pre-existing ones that you're remodeling, or they're already ready to go?
If I was like 5 years ago, I would buy existing car washes, but I'm beyond that. Like if you buy an existing car wash, a lot of my students are buying existing stuff with seller finance, and it's like those existing what do you call them? Self-managed or self car wash things with the wands. Those make like $8,000 a month. and you have to kind of be the person managing it. So it's a good job replacement tool,
Mhm.
but it's not really a wealth creator.
Okay.
Right. So like same thing with laundromats. Laundromats are not wealth creators. They're job killers. So I'm not in a position, neither are you guys, that you're trying to kill your job. So I would never go buy those, but I have students and you have students that would need to buy those to get out of their job, right? Get that freedom. So I look at that and I'm not trying to own car washes. I'm trying to build a car wash business that I exit with Vic Keller at some point.
What does the difference of that mean? What is the car
Oh
wash
my God.
business? I know the multiple and the opportunity.
I'll give
but
you
what
like
do
a really
mean by-
specific one. You guys know Quick Quack Car Wash?
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Okay,
So
Quick Quack Car Wash has about 280 locations. What do you think that company is worth?
Probably a very big number.
It's a big number.
It's in the billions.
It's $3.5 billion they just turned down an offer for. So a private equity company came in and said, we want the subscription model car wash that are all identical. Your subscribers can go from one car wash to another.
Yeah.
That's what private equity wants. And that's the way the world is moving is like,
Yeah.
$30 a month, type of thing. And that's been around for a long time, but it's expanding and they need 30,000 new car washes in America over the next 10 years. So I'm like, okay, why can't I do 500 of those? Like that's easy.
Right.
So a car wash typically costs about $1 million for the lot, $2 million for the build. I can get the lot on seller financing, no payments, no interest, no nothing for a year until I get a permit. Then I get a permit, I'm ready to build.
Right.
Then I can bring in private money and I can start building it. My total cost in the car wash is, let's say, $3 million. I'm in the car wash for $3 million. They will net after all expenses, free cash flow, after every single freaking expense, they net about 40 grand a month. So the difference between like, I'm buying one that has wands.
So why is it different with the pre-existing car wash
you
as
don't have
opposed to the new one?
subscriptions. The biggest one
When
is
you say the wands, you're talking about the old, like they got the cinder block. You go in there and use it yourself.
So you're going after like A-class land.
yeah.
So is there a problem with buying pre-existing self-autonomous
yes
car washes?
because they're not identical to
they're
my
not
model.
branded.
They're not branded. They don't use my same technology. They're
Yeah.
not using the same exact equipment. So think about this. If I go buy a bunch of car washes and even if I rebrand them, they all have different equipment.
Yeah.
So now there's not an economy of scale because it's like, well, that thing has a broken widget here that doesn't fit over on this one.
And the cost to switch out all the equipment, probably economies of scale doesn't work out.
And
right?
meanwhile, I'm partnered with the equipment
The guy.
manufacturer. So now all the repair, the parts, everything that I need on every single one of these, the payment processing, everything is identical across the board. So when you go to a private equity firm, you go, everything's identical. The experience is identical. The flow is identical. The customer can be in North Dakota and get their car wash there for $30 a month. Use that same subscription in Yuma, Arizona for that same $30 a month. And the technology shares the expense. So it's like, hey, this one, based on you get the point.
Yeah.
Now everything's identical. And I can go and take that $3 million car wash. And if I wanted to sell it to an individual user, I could probably sell it for $4 million, right? So like an investor, I could build it, I could get it up and going, and then I sell it to a new investor that's like, I want that car wash because I want the cash flow.
Yeah.
I could make $1 million. If I go put 100 of them together, that one car wash that could be worth $4 million now becomes worth $7 million.
Oh, that's a big jump.
Wowzer.
It's bonkers. Like I could take if I have a subscription model and I have 3 to 4 in every city, now I have enterprise value, right? Now a private equity firm is like, you have brand loyalty, you have 4 locations in one area. They would want to buy this deal and we want to take that whole thing off your plate. So the goal is to build 500 in the next couple of years that are all identical, same equipment, same processing, same exact experience. And what does Quick Quack have as a disadvantage that I don't have? They don't know how to find quality land at speed and scale.
Yeah.
I have an army of people that I've already partnered. So I went to the SubTo community. I go, if you guys bring me the land, I will buy the land. I will run the whole project and I'll give you 14% of the car wash with no money out of your pocket. So I'm basically letting people wedge into the car washes with me. And I just have an army. That's why we have so many car washes under contract
Yeah.
in 30 days.
That's pretty wild.
It's crazy.
So you've got a lot of opportunities in front of you at this point in time, right? Why car washes? And RV parks seems like another thing that's hot on your plate right now.
I'm trying to get away from single family unless it is specific to Section 8, HUD, VASH, or co-living. Regular rental, I'm not so much worried about the cash flow as the issue. The biggest issue I have is I think that the regular renter is going to go away in 10 years.
What do you think it'll be?
Extrapolate on that.
Like think about the economy right now. Like you guys are on X much?
Not much.
Okay, it's basically every day you're going to cry to yourself. Like
It's-
all the things that are going on.
It's a lot.
It's so bad.
It's a lot.
And it really is like doom and gloom, tremendous doom and gloom of like, here's this new AI, here's this new swath of people that are getting fired. Here's this new, it's like you're getting the information before the
that
news.
part I'm hearing, yeah, the AI
It's
stuff.
crazy. So let's talk about your tenants in a single family home, which I have 300 single family homes. I'm primarily selling most of them, and I'm 1031ing into things that will survive. I think we're going to go through a 10, maybe a 15-year duration where affordability is going to be the biggest issue. So I'm going after assets that people can afford no matter what, right? If you own an RV park, you rent out a whole spot with utilities included for $400 to $600 a month. Who can't afford that, right? And they get to work from home and travel the country, which is massive growth right now. People are like, I can work anywhere and I can be on my computer and I can see the world and I can rent a spot for a monthly rate for $600 a month with utilities included.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why RV parks are so hot. Okay. And that's why RV parks, there's 17,500 of them. We need about another 20,000 over the next 10 years. So like massive.
We need new ones built?
New. Massive, like Blackstone's going in and building. Everybody's like, it's huge. Same thing with mobile home parks. That's another big one. Why? Because mobile home parks, the average cost is like $500-$600 a month. Like it's so affordable. Okay. All right. Tiny homes, all that kind of stuff as well. I think tiny homes are going to be a massive wave of the future. You guys might not be following this quite yet, but modular home manufacturers are blowing up right now.
Yeah.
Local geographically centered people. So I bet you there's 2 modular home companies in Fresno that are like, we're doing $100,000 homes. We're going to ship them to you, install them, and you're all in for $100,000, right? Type of thing. That's blowing up like crazy. Why? The reason being is because I can put a container home. They're not container homes, but I can put a modular home on my land and not fix it to the land, turning it into real estate. Therefore, I'm taxed on the land, not taxed on the home.
Okay. And so now your property taxes are never going to
Which is another massive problem right now, right?
Yeah.
Are people not like insurance is crazy.
Yeah.
Property taxes are bonkers. Guess what? I don't have to pay if I don't ever actually install the home with concrete foundation. This is like the way where everybody's
That's
going.
interesting.
It's so interesting. Okay. Same thing with car washes. So think about this. Are we going to have a lot more apartments in 10 years or less apartments?
I'd say more.
Way more. Okay. You look at Ken McElroy, that's all they're doing. They're building B plus class. They're going bonkers. Right now, multifamily is having a compression because so many syndicators in 2022 and 2023, just stupid. We're raising money around, floating rates. Okay. If you have more apartment buildings and less single family homes being built, in fact, if you go to Texas now, like San Antonio specifically, they're building a lot of single family homes without a garage. No garage whatsoever. San Antonio has like 15 neighborhoods that are like master plan communities, no garage. You park in your driveway, there's no garage. You walk into your house, there's no garage, no covered parking, but you have a single family home. Okay. The way they're structuring these things. Where do I wash my car? If I live in an apartment building, if I don't have a garage, where do I wash my car? Well, I pay $30 a month and I can just roll through that thing as many times as possible. So car washes are a massive, massive draw in the future. Automation as well. So let's say in 10 years, a lot of people have robo-taxis. You just go, hey, robo-taxi, go wash yourself. Our car washes do not have a single human being involved in the process. There's no track for it to fit in. It goes through and we have already AI that's, will look at your license plate. It will scan your car for dings, scrapes, all that kind of stuff. So I'm protected against all of those.
Is this a big thing?
It's a Vic thing.
Yeah.
This is why I partnered with
is this
Vic.
like new technology he developed?
Yes.
Or like that's the new way for car washes
The
going
car
forward?
washes that are out right now, like Quick Quack does not have this
They
technology.
got all the tracks and stuff like that.
They got tracks.
You
so
got
they're
a
like,
track and your wheel.
They got a person in the front. They got to push the button.
we have none of that. So no human being on site. Now, we will have a human being for every 5 locations. We'll have a human being kind of floating and picking up trash and whatever else. But like, think about that. You're using 1/20th of a human being on every site.
Naturally, people cause problems. So how do people not screw up?
There's no
going
track.
in? But how does the person not crash into the person behind them? Because you got to drive
Oh,
through
yeah.
it.
there's-
That's
we
another one.
have we have safeguards. We have
That's another
safeguards against that.
Okay.
So we already have these. And what's cool is Vic already has 40 of them in Dallas. And so I'm following the same exact model he's doing. And I'm using his financials, his backing, everything else. Like, it's just like, why wouldn't I do it? It's the same thing with your students. It's like, why would I try and do this on my own when I could just have a mentor that partners with me, walks me through the process? Like, it's the exact same thing. And so, like, why wholesale? Why fix and flip? Why single family? Well, because I have a mentor that's willing to walk me through the process. And I think real estate, like especially wholesale, fixing and flipping, and single family rentals is very much a gateway drug into like bigger stuff. But you have to have the confidence that you know the game and the terminology and do like 10, 15 deals and you go, all right, I could do any, like, why can't I do multifamily? Why can't I do X, Y, and Z, right? So going back to why I think Section 8, HUD, you guys know what HUD-VASH is?
I have no
I
idea.
know.
But I don't know HUD.
So HUD-VASH is for veterans Section 8. It's underneath the HUD umbrella. And
Is that a state by state thing or is it federal or?
it's federal, yeah.
Okay.
So what's happening is let's look at like the next couple of job swaths that are going to be lost. Okay, that are massive, like things that are so obvious. Let's not even think about programmers and other things that are not so obvious, right? Like, well, we kind of still need programmers, but which one? What are so obvious we know we're not going to have?
A lot of admin.
Okay, a lot of admin.
A lot of admin.
Ones that's so obvious is like in 5 years, do you think we will have over the road truck drivers, 18 wheelers that are human being controlled or mostly automation?
Gonna be interesting.
Okay, these trucks.
I don't know what regulations will allow.
What's interesting is
Autonomous
they're doing field tests right now where these Tesla trucks are driving all the way through the night. So they're starting at 9 o'clock they're starting at 8 o'clock at night and they stop at 6 o'clock in the morning. So they're creating less traffic. They're drafting behind each other in swaths of 10. So they're saving electricity and they're driving all the way through the night with no human being. So they're already doing this. This is happening right now in the United States.
That's a trip.
It's a trip. So in 5 years, where are we at with that? Well, you know, there's adoption and these truck drivers need to hire or they need to buy trucks and put them in their fleet and all that kind of stuff. I think we've got 5 years and 7 million truck drivers will lose their job.
There's that many?
There's that many. 7 million. About 2.5% of our population works inside of the trucking industry. So about 7 million just truck over the road, long haul truck drivers. Now there's going to be short hauls like Home Depot. You order a bunch of rock from them and they got to drive it 3 miles. I think that's going to take a while, right? But long hauls from like Long Beach to Vegas. I got to go deliver this thing. It came from China. It needs to go to Vegas, whatever, or Fresno or what have you. That's going to be gone in 5 years. Okay, what else is going to be gone in 5 years? You guys don't have Waymo yet, do you?
No.
Not yet.
But Ubers will for sure be
Okay,
gone.
so if you guys go right now in Phoenix, Arizona, we have 1,000 Waymos on the road right now. 1,000.
I've seen them.
Okay, and what's also interesting is there's a couple of things going on. So we have Robotaxi in town, we have Waymo in town, and they also have done an Uber women only choice. So if I'm a woman, I can choose to have a female driver. Why? Well, because if I'm a woman, I'm overly worried about the man that's driving me because there's been assaults and murders and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, this is interesting. The average fare in Phoenix, Arizona for an Uber, forget about the woman thing. That's just a by topic. The average fare in Phoenix, Arizona is about $20 for an Uber driver. Okay. If I go Waymo, which has no human being involved, you would think it's going to be way less expensive. Waymo is $40 per ride.
Is it really?
Yep. And guess what's happening? More people are choosing to drive Waymo than they are Uber.
And I thought
Uber
the
still
whole
is
point.
kind of a crapshoot though. Like if you don't call an Uber black, you're kind of in Fresno.
Yeah, you're
There's
smelling
no Uber Black.
Yeah,
You're
you smell
smelling
weed. Yeah, it's horrible.
It could
You
just
smell
be
a lot of
crazy.
weed.
Yeah, it just could be terrible.
It could be terrible. So what's happening right now is that Waymo and Robotaxi have no human being involved. Guess what? I have privacy. I don't have to answer the question like, how's my day? And get into a long conversation when I'm just trying to text my wife or whatever else. People are choosing the humanless opportunity right now. They're choosing to spend $20 more than Lyft or Uber to make sure they get a Robotaxi or a Waymo in Phoenix, Arizona. Same thing's happening in Austin. It's happening right now. So I have a Lyft driver that's a student of mine. She's like, I used to make $1,200 a week. Now I make $600 a week and I work twice as much. They're already planning on having autonomous drivers in the next 3 to 4 years. How many people drive for Lyft and Uber? Another 4 million people. So just in the vehicle, now I'm not even talking about Uber Eats. I'm not talking about any of that kind of stuff, which is auto. Have you guys had robots on your road yet that are delivering food?
I've seen them, but
No,
not
those
not
little
on our
carts
roads.
that are moving around.
Yep, we have them here. So you order something on Uber Eats, it's delivered by a robot, gets dropped off right in your driveway. It can't get up to your doorstep yet, but it can get to your driveway. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
So you look at that, it's like 11 million people. Where are these people going to work? Now you see a lot of people online talking about like, oh, we need more plumbers. No, we don't.
Not that many.
We do not need that many plumbers. We do not need that many roofers. We do not need that many electricians. Believe me, if you put a million people into each one of those categories, 11 different categories, you've now oversaturated that entire market. Think about 1 million people divided by 50 states. You're going to add 20,000 more people in every single state to that individual thing. I need 20,000 more electricians in every state. I don't think so. So there will be a shift, but you're looking at 4 or 5 million people that will not be able to afford to live. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen is one of two things is going to happen. One, UBI. You guys know what UBI is?
Number one question I get every day is, how do I get everything done? I have 9 companies, 600 employees. We have customers all over the globe. We're doing fix and flips. We're doing buy and holds, apartments, RV parks, all of those things. Everybody wonders, how did I scale? How did I get to a higher level? And the answer is that, GoHighLevel. I use a CRM that allows all of my customers to come into one database. And instead of me hiring more employees to go and do all the follow-up, GoHighLevel has systems and automations that does all of that for me. So not only can I have my employees focus on higher end tasks, money-making tasks, GoHighLevel avoids all of the extra payroll. When you're brand new, having GoHighLevel is like having 5 different employees doing all the work for you just for a monthly fee. Go to GoHighLevel.com/pace to learn how I'm using it, not only in my lending business, but my wholesale business, my fix and flip business. Literally, GoHighLevel controls the entire back end of all 9 of my companies. Go to GoHighLevel.com/pace to learn more.
I don't think it'll carry enough. I don't think it'll be enough.
I agree. Okay, so universal basic income. So the government gives you a paycheck to basically stay alive. It's already happening. 34% of our United States population relies on government assistance already. 34%. So you meet 3 people today. One of those 3 people relies on the government to survive. Already, that is already the case. We believe that within 5 to 7 years, that number is going to be over 50%. Every other person you meet is going to rely on government assistance at some point. So either A, it's going to be universal basic income, or B, it's going to be people sharing houses together, saying, I have a part-time job, I don't make a lot of money, but I can't afford to live unless I have a roommate situation. This is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So co-living, Section 8, all of those types of things. Or I'm going to live in a trailer in a mobile home park for $600 and I'm going to split that with somebody. So I'm going to be in a 2-bed, 1-bath mobile home. They're $300, I'm $300. That is the direction we're going. If I put something on the market that's affordable, bro, it's 2 seconds. I put a flip, like right now, the average sales price in Phoenix, Arizona for a flip that we're doing is $440. If I put a house on the market right now for $400, I can't sell it. If I put a house on the market for, let's say, $325, I do a lower income house. People are fighting over it. What does that tell you? People are fearful of affordability right now. It's a massive problem.
Yep.
So that is why I'm going after car washes and I'm going after RV parks, mobile home parks, affordable multifamily. My multifamily properties, I'm calling them super Section 8. Like I won't do a multifamily unless I can fill it with Section 8 and HUD-VASH. Like I'm not looking for regular renters.
So have you come to all these conclusions with, these are the strategies you're going with based on what's going to happen in the future? Is this just you've come up with this yourself, or you've got people advising you, or a lot of other people that are doing it too in the circles you're with? Like, how are you coming to that?
A lot of people are doing, like, I'm really good friends with the CEO of most of these companies. So like, I'm really good friends with Atticus, the CEO of Pad Split, really good friends with Furnished Finder, who does a lot of midterm rental. And when you look at the analytics of where everybody's going and what the typical demographic is of their world and how things have changed in their world the last 3 years, you just follow the math. You go, I see what's going on. And then they have AI that goes, hey, based on what's going on in the customer chatter, there's more demand on these things than these things. These things are starting to die off. These things are starting to grow. And then you take that and you're in masterminds of people that are actually doing it. Like I've got a good buddy of mine, Nick Sansone. He will become the largest data center builder in the United States.
Let's talk about I think that is the best.
I know nothing about him other than I know people doing them. And I'm like, that's beyond my pay grade, but it's massive.
Massive. And I think I was talking to a guy about it the other day, and he was like, if you think about it, with so much AI going on, that data center is going to be needed for the rest of time. Because no matter what anybody does, they use AI in any way, there's an API call, the data center is needed.
Yep. And power.
Like and power. I feel like that'd be something you'd be getting
like
into.
Tony, what's interesting is, so I'm in Tony Robbins' mastermind. There's 30 of us. So Tony's talking to us about what he's doing right now is he's buying shut down power plants. Okay, coal refineries and stuff like that. And he's taking old coal mines that were shut down for whatever reason. Him and a guy out of Saudi Arabia have technology that you can take the coal burn off and power an entire power grid with the coal burn off. It's a freaking crazy technology. They've launched this in West Virginia already. He already has a couple power plants, and he's now selling the power to like data miners and blah, 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 blah. They've done their first couple. He's keeping it under the radar. Besides, he's like talking to friends about it. My podcast isn't big enough that, you know, the world's going to find out about it. He's going after not data centers. He's going after supplying the power. Like how do I go by?
That's pretty wild.
It's wild. Like it's a world that I'm not cool enough and big enough to participate in unless I'm investing in their stock, right? Like common man, I can go put $1 million into their stock and go, okay, I'm going to make a couple $1 million over the next couple of years because you guys are going to grow that thing. But I go, Tony, how do I invest in that deal? He's like, yeah, we don't need your money. Thank you. You know, he's got $20 billion from Saudi Arabia, a partnership that he's got. They're coming in and buying up old coal spots that they shut down because it wasn't producing enough. And the cost to produce more coal there was cost prohibitive. So they shut it down. But if you can take the burn off from the coal plant and supply it to a power grid, now this becomes a highly profitable venture. So they're going in and grabbing up all these old I'm like, over my head. I'm 10 years from even understanding how cool that is.
So in all these masterminds, I think we have like 7 to 10 years before it looks really, really bad. Like what are all these people saying in those masterminds?
I mean, most of these guys are all worth a couple $100 million, right? Like you have to be worth a minimum of $10 million to be in the room. Like there's a vetting process to get in there. And so most of these people are never going to worry about money for the rest of their life for the most part.
For the world though, what do they think?
They think that the same thing that's true is 80% of people are blind to it. And that no matter what you say, no matter like, do you guys know who Peter Diamandis is?
No.
Okay, his podcast Moonshots, phenomenal. You should watch it.
Nick was talking about that. He was like, you gotta watch Moonshots. Moonshots
is really good. This is all they talk about. They only talk about this, and it's like some of the biggest players in the world, like Mark Andreessen and all sorts of cool people. Like you saw, I just had the founder of Ancestry.com. He was there in the office.
Oh, that's
you guys meet
sick.
him?
I didn't see that.
No. Oh yeah. So like he's in some of these rooms with me, right? And you get to hang out with these people that are building things to essentially supply products and services to the 80% of people that literally are not even awake. That's what everybody's doing. Everybody's going, well, I'm going to be a part of the 20% or the 10% to supply to the 80%, and I'm going to get government subsidies because the government's never going to stop printing money. So they're just putting themselves in the path of progress, and they're going to go build things that the government's going to pay for, type of thing. I mean, you look at like OpenAI and everything that's going on over there. OpenAI is a nonprofit organization. Nonprofit
worth $500 billion.
Right. Like, bro, there's so much government. I'm not smart enough to play in the politics game quite yet. But
pays for president.
This is yeah. I don't want to get shot, bro. Like, they're
shooting presidents these days.
I know they're shooting everybody nowadays. So, this is the cool thing about like wholesale and fix and flip and buying and holding and getting a couple of rentals is that you now can get free, which is what you guys teach. I can get free that I can now start looking at these options, right? Somebody listening to me talking about this is like over my head. Even some of the stuff I'm talking about that my friends are doing is over my head. And you can't help but get FOMO. You can't help but go, how do I participate? I want to be a part of that, right?
How do you help yourself from not getting shiny object syndrome? Or do you have enough horsepower behind you to where you can go chase the shiny objects?
I mean, I can pick, right? If I have 10 opportunities, I look at Vic. Okay, why did I choose Vic? Well, car washes make sense now that you understand like where the world is going. Less people have garages, more people will be in existence. The population of the United States is slowly slowing down, but it is actually still growing, right? The percentage of growth is slowing down, but we are still growing massively. We have 400 million people. We will 100% get to 600 or 700 million people before we taper off. So double our population before we slow down. We need a lot more houses and a lot more stuff. It's wild, right? So people are worried about it, but it's like 10, 15, 20 years down the road before we really have it tapering off. Okay, so car washes make sense. Like mathematically, they make sense. But I also had a gentleman that was like, I will mentor you. I will walk you through the process. And it might not have been the coolest thing on the planet. I'm like, do I want to be known as a car wash guy? No. But again, if let's say I'm looking at getting started in real estate, I got all the information in the world. What I need is a person who has the credibility and the track history that will take me over that bridge. Otherwise, it's just this massive chasm of like, yeah, that's cool. I want to be in car washes. So let's say you take these 10 opportunities. I look at the one that has the mentor. That's it. It's the same thing with your audience. It's like, I need a mentor. Give me all the information, Dean. Tell me everything. I am not going to do shit with it. I'm lost. Right? It goes right back to the game footage. If Vic told me everything he knew, it would just be a bunch of YouTube content.
Yeah.
Right? But I get to use his credibility. I get to use his name. I get to use his financials. If a bank says, well, who are you and what history do you have in car washes? I go,
here, meet Vic.
I go, well, me and my partner have 40 years combined.
Yeah.
But isn't that what your students should be doing with you guys as well?
100%.
Yeah.
That's the difference maker. So yes, there's 9 other opportunities I have, but do I have a mentor that's willing to give me the time, energy, and effort to help me get over that gap, which is what Deal Champs is doing for people, right? And why you guys are doing meetups is because there's people who go, I want to be into these things and I want to protect myself from what is coming. It's inevitable. And I think a lot of people are either in the 80% that doesn't even know it exists. Like, bro, there's people that don't even know what ChatGPT is.
Sure.
I think that's insane because I get it. Your life is going to change so drastically in the next 5 to 7 years. Like, I am worried about those people. Like, we grew up in small towns in Utah.
Yeah.
That is going to be a very big gap of have-nots.
Yeah, I think the adoption is I'm worried about the adoption a little bit where it's like, I go to Montana in the summertime. Those people, and same thing with Fresno, honestly, like you're in SoCal. They're going to adopt AI way faster than Fresno's going to do it. Fresno's just not, it's like Fresno's still wearing Janko jeans from like 1999.
They're behind the times.
They're behind the times. And there's hundreds of cities that are like that. And so I think people that live in those towns are going to live in this like really awesome euphoric space for a little while. And those little bubbles of those economies will do fine. But then the outside world is outpacing you by a significant margin. Like Montana is just like that. I drive around Montana, nobody knows people are still not using internet.
Yeah.
Like there's people that are like, yeah, I'll fax you. Like literally there's title companies that are still using fax machines.
Yikes.
Okay, cool. So adoption is actually going to be the biggest problem in making sure everybody's adopted. So I'm not saying that the whole world is over. I think that the things that are really safe to get started is fixing and flipping is always going to be a thing, but who are you fixing and flipping to will change. Okay. So like less people are doing the burst strategy today than were doing it 5 years ago. Single family rentals will slowly, just like Airbnb, you guys have seen over the last couple of years, has been decimated.
Yeah.
Is it still a thing? Sure. It's still, and it always will be a thing. But is it trending upwards? And can I just be in that momentum and make money in it? No. I have to be so freaking good at Airbnb to dominate in Airbnb. I could be half-assed at Section 8, half-assed at co-living and make a ton of money. So can I flip or wholesale a property to a co-living or Section 8 person? Yes. That's always going to be a thing. Wholesaling, fixing, and flipping are always going to be a thing. And when you're ready to buy and hold, buying and holding is buying and holding. It's just who you are leasing it to is really the only thing that changes. I think just dicing the houses up is the biggest thing. Are you guys doing any pad split or co-living
Not
stuff?
yet. No. But we just got to talk with Jamil about it. He got me pretty excited.
It's huge.
The numbers are crazy.
Are you already in it?
Yeah. I think I probably got my first couple before Jamil did, but Jamil's going to gangbusters on this. Yeah. Like I've got, and my team's really good at all of our numbers. Let me pull 39th Street up. So we just bought a SubTo deal. Oh, I'll give you Maddie's deal. Okay, I'll tell you how Maddie got her deal. Airbnb, struggling to survive, puts their Airbnb up on the market, on the MLS. Can't sell it. Why? Because the market's slow, right? Maddie calls that real estate agent on like day 180. Hey, would your seller consider letting me take it over subject to? She negotiates. She gets the deal. It's a 3.5% rate. Okay, cool. Whatever. But the payment's $2,400. How is Maddie, a homeless person, going to afford a $2,400 a month payment? Plus maintenance, plus this, plus whatever. Okay, well, she can go rent the house out for $3,000 a month, but that's gross. So I got a $600 spread between $2,400 and what I can rent it for at $3,000.
Yeah. You got insurance, all the
Yeah.
things.
Gone. I might as well be losing $100 a month, right?
Yep.
Cool. So pad split, take that same house. She's renting out 9 bedrooms. She took out the living room, the dining room, the garage, and there's like a little casita in the back. She made 9 rooms and she's in the 10th one for free. Those 9 rooms will generate $9,000 a month, pay her $2,400 mortgage, her pad split fee, her utilities, her pool, her landscape, her cleaning, her this, all the way across the board. She gets a free house and she makes $1,800 in her pocket every single month. There ain't no way you could do that in regular rental.
No.
And you also couldn't do it as an Airbnb because the economy goes up and down. People spend money left, right, whatever. It's unreliable. So wholesaling and fixing and flipping is always going to be a thing, but you have to look at who is actually buying right now. People doing the burst strategy are not buying. They got their asses handed to them. So the strategy stays the same. Who's buying the deal from me as a wholesaler or fix and flipper is the only thing that changes, if that makes sense.
What are you doing right now in all your companies to implement more AI? Like that you're
not as much as I think we should be, but mostly it's like cold calling, it's cleanup, it's email automations, it's like right now in my sales team, we are using a sales AI that will go in and coach them on like what they could have done better on that call. Hey, you didn't ask this question, this person answered it, and you walked right over top of them. That kind of stuff. So game changing stuff, but like, I think we're still 3 years away from like AI running my whole entire business.
Yeah.
And I don't know that will ever be the case. One thing also, my tax returns cost $20,000 a year. Okay. I just found an AI that says it guarantees it will outperform my CPA's tax return for $1,500 a year. Like,
do you think it's legitimate though?
I don't know. I'm gonna try it out.
Because like I've got QuickBooks going and it's like, hey, you can run AI, and then it just makes all these assumptions. A lot of them are not there yet.
This is somebody who's a CPA that built this. And he's like, the number one problem with you and me is that we are so individualized in the way our taxes would be prepared. A CPA would look at us completely different based on your business model. Like people that are in real estate think, oh, you're in real estate, you're in real estate, you're in real estate. No, it's so dynamically different, right? State legislations, how many kids you have, how your corporate structure is set up, how many partners you have. Do you have a nonprofit? Are you doing infinite banking? Like there's so many dynamic things. CPAs have to currently babysit you and me to go, well, what are you doing here? And why are you doing this? And what are you going? And the AI that I've seen on the CPA side is going to take out CPAs. Like you just plug everything in, you'll tie it into QuickBooks. It will take your last year's tax return that was done by CPA, and it will basically say, okay, I see what you're doing here. You missed these 4 things. You missed this, this, and this. The beautiful thing is the IRS updates their laws and regulations every year. Guess what my CPA doesn't do?
Read it.
Read it.
Yeah.
And so so I think a lot of, again, what are CPAs going to do? CPAs are cooked in 3 years.
I believe that.
I think it's crazy that people are doing the roll-ups of all those CPA and those tax.
I do
firms.
too. I think private equity.
Roll-ups going on right now.
Oh, bro, people are trying to do it, and I don't. It doesn't make sense because that $1,500 product solves the problem.
Well, I think here's why this makes sense. So private equity is just basically fixing and flipping businesses, right? And what they're doing is there's big private equity firms like BlackRock, Blackstone. They get paid for transaction fees. Cool. Well, what's happening is you go buy 3 car washes. Sorry, not car washes. Let's say I go buy 3 CPA firms. I rebrand them. I sell them to this PE firm. This PE firm pays me $5 million for what I paid $3 million for. Cool. So they're basically playing hot potato. Then this PE firm goes, all right, we're going to reduce cost, amplify revenue for 6 months, sell it to the next guy. And they make $2 million. And then it goes to the next guy. And then ultimately BlackRock buys it 6 years later. So look at Bigger Pockets. Bigger Pockets is sold 3 times to private equity.
The guy.
Yep. They just sold for $280 million. This is not public information. You're hearing it first. They just sold for $280 million to the 3rd private equity firm. Their revenue is actually lower than when they sold for $40 million. Interesting thought process. These are things that like I wish I knew 10 years ago. Why would a company sell for $40 million at a higher revenue, sell today at $280 with a lower revenue? Because they categorize it differently.
Tech.
It's now tech. It's not a real
Yeah,
estate platform.
yeah.
It's now tech. It's now a blah, 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 blah. And the multiple is much higher. And so what they're doing is they're looking for the bigger idiot that's going to buy the thing. They're going to change two things and they're going to go to the biggest one and go, here you go. Here's the thing. And they'll flip this thing in 2 years for 350. So these companies we're doing roll-ups. They're basically like, hurry, sell these things as fast as humanly possible. The next person's doing the same thing. And because they've been in business for 20 years doing this thing, they're not reinventing their business. They're just trying to pump as much money as they possibly can out while the going's good. It's kind of a scary thing when you start thinking about like what people are actually doing right now. They're like, I got 36 to 60 months before my business model completely changes.
Yep.
So I read an article this morning about the private equity game as a bubble and that, yeah, and people are basically going to go.
I was going to ask you about that, right? You're betting on car washes, building out this big portfolio and selling it to private equity. Do you see, if you said private equity bubble, do you see there being a fundamental issue with private equity being able to even buy businesses, portfolios, all those kind of things?
100%. But if you look at a car wash, guess what I don't like about buying a business? Humans. They're by far the worst part of owning a business is like humans not showing up. I've been here for 3 years. I deserve to make the most money. It's like, yeah, but you don't really perform. You show up late. You're always this. Like humans are so entitled, right? You guys know this. You guys probably have team members, and not all of them. My team is incredible, but it's taken a long.
But my team's all great.
But my team.
I mean, you've met them. They're incredible.
They are really
but
good.
It's taken me hundreds of people to get a dozen really like stellar warriors, right? And so what happens is, I go, if I'm going to own something, I want to have something that does not require a human being. And I'm going to own something that I can keep. Worst case scenario, I can't sell it off. So like RV park, mobile home park, guess what? Those will always be in need. I will never feel like I'm stuck with an asset. If I was buying Airbnbs right now, trying to roll those up and somebody doesn't buy those from me, I'm freaking screwed.
Yeah.
But if I go buy RV parks, mobile home parks, I go build car washes.
So I'm thinking about co-living for an example.
Yeah.
Co-living is exciting.
Yep.
I feel like it's there's a real movement towards that. But what if one day the government just says, yeah, we don't want to fund this anymore? I mean, obviously everything's moving towards that affordability issue.
Yeah.
So it's unlikely that will happen because Airbnb is about creating experiences. It's kind of the luxury category, right? And it's on the higher expense category, whereas co-living is on the opposite side of that.
Yeah. So if you look in California, right, where you guys are in Sacramento just started issuing grants for people to do more co-living. Same thing with Colorado. Colorado just passed a law that said, like in Colorado, there's a landlord law that said you couldn't have more than 3 people in the same house unless they had the same last name. They just got rid of that law saying you could have as many people in the same house and they do not have to be related whatsoever. So laws are changing. Same thing in Phoenix, Arizona. They just passed a law about 6 months ago that says if you are within 5 miles of downtown, everybody can add an ADU to their backyard. Everybody. Okay, well, things are changing, aren't they? People want more density, want more buildability. Is there going to be a point where this becomes a problem? Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure it will. I mean, do you want co-living in your neighborhood?
No.
That's what we were talking to Joe. It was like Scottsdale said no. Scottsdale just said we're not.
You stay out of certain areas, right? No HOAs, etc. So in those situations, I think that it will cause a problem, just like Airbnb caused a problem. It was oversaturated and people are now clawing back. Why did so many people do Airbnb, by the way? Was it a great business model? Did it make a ton of money? Do you know why so many people did Airbnb for so long? Because of the tax benefits. If I'm a 9 to 5 employee,
that's true.
I can't get tax deductions through cost segregation unless I do an Airbnb or an RV park. Why? Because they will not give me tax benefits if I'm an employee on my active income unless I have 7-day or less average rent duration. The only asset class that fits that is Airbnb and RV parks, but nobody wants to learn how to do RV parks. So they go, I'm going to go do Airbnbs. And so the Airbnb world blows up and then all of a sudden the economy changes and now everybody's leaving Airbnb and anyway. So we could talk about that for hours, but and the Airbnb bros that are all educators on Airbnb, they all hate me. They DM me. Why are you attacking Airbnb? I'm losing my students. Nobody wants to join my Airbnb program. I'm like, because you didn't learn how to be a real estate investor. You didn't learn how to pivot. The beautiful thing about real estate is that you can pivot and still be an investor. You just have to. It's like as a football player, you didn't play every other opponent as your last opponent. You looked at what they were doing and how they were different and how
Yeah,
this.
you got to adapt the game plan.
Right. So you are a football player. You are an athlete. You actually pay attention to what is going on with the market, right? The other people that you're playing. And so these other real estate investors that are focused on Airbnbs, you deserve to be cooked because you did not learn how to be an investor and adapt to the marketplace. So
how much do you spend your time researching, and where do you get all that information? Because there's all this data, there's all this information, there's trends, right? Like Airbnb was a trend and it was hot and a lot of people made money, and then people got on the back end of that trend and are getting hurt. How do you follow those trends? And are you now trying to like ride the waves, or because you're talking about, hey, you can't just stay the same way the whole time, right? Yeah. And then we meet with someone like Zach Heaps last night, who has a substantial portfolio.
he's awesome.
And he's like, I just do one thing.
Yeah.
I keep it simple, stupid. This is what I do. I'm not overthinking it, and I love it, and I'm doing great.
He got in the game at such a perfect time.
A great time.
He really did.
And nobody has the luxury that Zach has. And by the way, Zach is probably one of the smartest people I've ever met.
He's a killer and a real dude.
One of the most helpful people in my career. He used to go on appointments with me 12 years ago. Like,
I believe
Really?
it.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Awesome dude. But like probably it was in my year 3. I was in year 3 of my career, and he would buy deals for me over left, right, and center. And he taught me that even though there were people that you could trust, like Zach would be like, I'm going to buy this deal. I'm like, oh, amazing. Heck yeah. And I got paid 25 grand. He was the first guy that made 50 grand assigning my assignment.
Did he?
And I learned that taught me an amazing lesson. And I was so happy that he made that 50 grand because I learned so much from that. I love Zach. But he also bought during a time frame when regular rentals would cash flow. And he also built his massive wealth through doing that at a time where the burst strategy actually worked. The burst strategy died 3 years ago. Not died, but like it's basically like
really hard.
It's a really, really hard.
I got 2 properties. I'm going to be able to do a perfect burr that I bought this month, where you buy it, you got private money lender, you refinance it at 75% or less, and you got no money in the deal.
Right.
So, but these are the only 2 rentals that I bought this year.
Yeah.
And I want to buy more, but it's hard to, because there's not many that make sense. Like
Yeah. And it's not dead. It's just harder. Right.
Yeah.
And I would argue also with that Michael Zuberg also entered the market into a time frame when Burr was like really effective and amazing. And those guys now have swaths of equity. So what's great about Keeps is he goes and pulls lines of credit off of these houses, and he goes and does things. He is so smart. Somebody starting out today is not going to be able to follow the Zach Keeps model. You tell me right now, I'm going to go start an Airbnb portfolio. Am I going to be effective or not effective?
Not effective.
It's really hard as a brand new person, right? So for us and the people that are learning from us, there's a couple of ways I learned. Number one, I put in, I have an AI agent that goes and scrapes the internet every single day based on 25 topics that I have that I want to learn about. That way I'm not scrolling. I'm not I'm not going through X and going, what's going on? It's fed to me in an email every single morning, and it goes, here's the 25 things you should know. I read that stuff. I click on the things. I look at the comments. I go, okay, who of my friends is replying? I'm literally researching maybe 25 minutes a day. That's it. And then I'm applying it. I'm in the business. I'm out on the field. Like yesterday, I was in New Orleans at a property I'm buying 0% seller finance, 24 units, turning it all into Section 8. And the day before it, I'm in Vegas. Like I'm out in the field doing the thing.
At this point, are you having to like figure out strategies to prospect for deals, or is the lead flow just so overwhelming that you're just like just trying to sort through it all?
What is the actual
My lead flow is all students.
Yeah.
Like we have 30,000 people that are doing.
Like how many though, like that come to your team?
Because Jamil was saying like, dude, I'm looking at a couple hundred a day, and I have someone that filters those, and then I look through a couple dozen deals and then vet those. And
our community did $25 billion in SubTo transactions last year, and like $30 billion in cash transactions last year. I did $100 million. I'm not even 1% of 1% of the total community of deal flow. So I have a very specific buy box. It's pacesbuybox.com. Everybody in my community knows it. If you want to do a deal with me, go to pacesbuybox.com, bring me the deals. So I see probably 40 to 60 deals a day, but they only fit my buy box. Like they're not sending me something in Oklahoma. They're doing their own Oklahoma
Where
deals.
are you doing deals? Because it seems like you're doing nationwide stuff now.
I've been doing nationwide stuff since 2020, yeah. So single family, I've stopped buying outside of Phoenix, Arizona, and I've stopped buying anything that's not co-living, Section 8.
You stopped buying outside of Phoenix.
Yep.
You only want to buy in Phoenix now.
Single family, yeah.
Okay.
Single family, Phoenix, Arizona.
So you're still buying single family. You
Yeah,
still
I'll
believe in
buy
it.
probably 15 SubTo deals this year, and they're all in Phoenix, Arizona. They're all turned into either co-living or Section 8.
Are all your deals SubTo deals?
I don't know why I would ever buy a cash deal. There's such an abundance of creative finance deals. It's overwhelming. Like what I do is once a month. The other thing I do is something that helps me is I'll bring in 150 of my students in my office right here. You guys can see my learning center right here.
Yeah.
And I will show them how to prospect to real estate agents that have had their houses on the market for over 150 days. And we'll just submit SubTo deals all day long. Dude, you're literally getting 30 contracts a day. 150 people are getting 30. So by the end of the week, every single person has gotten, on average, has gotten a contract in 5 days. Starting brand new. SubTo deals or seller finance deals. Because I'm only having them pull a filter. They go to Deal Sauce, which is the software we use. They go to Deal Sauce. They pull a low equity or no equity filter, 4% or less, 150 days plus on market. Go in, submit an LOI, blast out 500 emails, and then you wait for the agents to call you and go, hey, I got your LOI. Can we get on a call? That's our entire prospecting. If we're doing direct to agent, if we're doing direct to seller, we're using AI, it does all the cold calling for us. So what's cool is I get to spend a week with the students doing that with them. I call the agents, I negotiate with them in front of them, and then I take 3 weeks off. And then another 150 come in a month later, and I do another 150, and I'm just training them in person. They go out into the world, they do deals with each other, and then I get to pick and choose the ones that I want to keep.
What opportunities are you seeing in the multifamily space right now with how big of a show it is?
I'm not big enough to see those.
At all? Like,
It's the big boys that are seeing the good deals,
bank
right?
will call who they know is going to perform.
I have a buddy in San Diego who invested in a company that's like some big monster that's getting first take and eating up these deals.
Yeah, I'm not big enough and cool enough to touch those. And those are all cash deals, so I wouldn't do them. Grant's big enough to do these, so Grant's getting off-market stuff, and they're coming directly from the banks. And they're like, bro, they're like 40 cents on the dollar type of stuff. Like they're getting incredible deals.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
None of them are hitting the market. A lot of them are not even hitting brokers. Like the bank is calling the actual company's buyer.
You can do this. Let's make this happen.
Yeah. Hey, you got 40 million. We sold this to, in fact, I have an influencer that teaches multifamily that I invested $1 million in. And I said, yeah, I'll throw $1 million into your multifamily deal. It's like 400 units in North Carolina. And she raised $40 million on this $100 million asset in 2022 when rates were really low. He was making 30, 40 grand a month. Rates go up. Now
I see where this is going.
Right? Assets not cash flowing anymore. Guess what's happened to those $40 million in investors?
Wiped.
They're wiped. $40 million, it's gone. So like if you are syndicating and you syndicated on cash deals in 2020, 21, 22, a lot of you, there's big prolific names that are like influencers on Bigger Pockets that raised and did syndications that are not paying their investors right now. In fact, they have a lot of assets that are going to foreclosure. That is what's happening in the cash market. Now, where are those deals going? Can I find them on Crexy or LoopNet? Can I go find those online? No, we're not cool enough. And
Yeah.
I don't know that I'll ever be cool enough in the multifamily space for a bank to ever call me and go, hey, Pace, will you close on the $60 million deal? I don't think that's ever going to happen to me. But I know Grant's seeing those deals and bigger players are seeing those deals. Where I'm seeing opportunities in the multifamily space are the owners that are 1 to 2 property owners. They couldn't scale past that. They're small mom and pop. They're, doing the toilet repairs themselves and the light bulbs, and they're doing the landscaping themselves. You pull a list of anybody that's owned 2 properties in their personal name for over 15 years, and you got a tired landlord. And you're just sending them a message and you go, hey, I'd like to take you from the landlord to the lender and help you retire. Are you open to a conversation? That's where we're buying like that 24-plex we got yesterday in New Orleans. That's where you get that stuff. And they'll do 0% seller finance. They'll do no money down because they don't want to pay capital gains tax. Like, man, this game is so fun. I could talk about this all freaking day.
Yeah.
All freaking day. But again, this is overwhelming for a lot of people, and they might go, oh my gosh, Pace is talking so fast and he's doing okay. But the reality is most people should start with what you guys are doing, right? Like somebody's brand new, they come to you. What are you teaching them?
We're teaching them how to get their first deal. We're teaching them how to build a business.
In what way? Like what type of deal?
So typically wholesaling.
Okay, typically wholesale. Cool.
Yeah.
And wholesale will never go away, except it will be regulated. And guess what? The people that are smart like you will go, okay, well, we're being regulated. Let's just double close, right? Or let's focus on areas that it's not being regulated. It's outlawed now, I think, in 11 states to some degree. But then those states like South Carolina, oh, we can't do wholesale. Okay, everybody's double closing.
Yeah. Like it's not going to go away because the problem's still there. The regulation
No.
doesn't solve the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
The people still need to be helped. And so someone will just find a workaround.
What would you say? I'm brand new coming to Deal Champs. And I've got no budget for marketing. I have enough money to join Deal Champs and be around the cool people. What would you tell me to do to go get my first wholesale deal?
I think if you have no budget, I got started door knocking if you have it in you.
Yep.
And I think courthouse records are absolutely amazing if you have just absolutely no budget. It's a little bit competitive.
Yeah.
But you can call those people for free and you can have quality conversations with those people, get them on the phone. There is the really, really long listed houses that are super easy as well. But those would be like my one.
So you're
two.
mostly direct to seller, not so much direct to agent.
Yeah.
Really
We've
good.
also had students come in that had little to no budget and they just started networking.
Oh yeah.
Networking
JV
with other
deals, yeah.
wholesalers and doing JV deals and have built really big businesses just from those grassroots type of efforts. you know?
Yes. Love
And
that.
social media. People forget, like, because where we're getting at in age now, someone may pass away and someone doesn't know what to do with that house.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you just post and you commit to actually doing it, right? And you're like, hey, I'm getting into the house buying business. If you guys know anybody where they have a house that needs some work, you just post about it and you show that you're actually doing it, they will trust you way more than they'll trust me.
Yeah.
Because like they don't know me, they don't know my company, but they know you and they know that you'll take care of them. And so that's another free method to where there's someone who's passed away, there's someone who may need help where you can help them out.
Okay. So now I have a budget. What would you tell me to do?
Well, you got all the normal stuff. You got texting, cold calling, you got direct mail, you got PPC, you got PPL.
Okay.
So it depends on where
How
your
much?
skill level is.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
So that's a whole other conversation. We've got one student that came into the community who was very skilled with sales. He said, I want to go
He was
fast.
already in sales already, probably.
Car guy.
Business owner,
Oh, okay.
car guy, very good salesman. He said, I want to go fast and I want to do this big. So he came in and he started doing pay per lead and then it turned into PPC and he's been ripping.
Explain the difference to the audience, PPL versus
Yeah.
PPC.
So PPC is if you're using something like Google Ads, right? Where you're paying Google so that when someone searches for something that your business does, real estate investing, sell my house fast, or we buy houses, or any other similar terms, that your company ranks towards the top because you're paying for it to be there. And when someone clicks on it, you are paying per click, right? So that's what PPC is. And then PPL is pay per lead. You're paying another company. Let's say Pace, you had a company that generated leads. You're good at it. I could pay you to generate those leads. And for each lead I get from you, I pay you. So you're paying per lead. So
Do you guys have any sort of service that you help your students generate leads that you guys own?
we have some different lead generation companies that we built relationships with that we've had students work those leads, those pay per leads, and get deals from it. So that's the strategy we've used.
Okay, cool. Love that. And are you guys monthly membership or are you guys one-time fee? What are you?
One-time fee.
One-time fee.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where are most of your people coming? California?
Most have started there naturally because of the community that we've built there organically.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely we've been adding people, across the nation.
Okay, freaking cool.
Yeah, Geo's the farthest, I think.
Yeah.
We
We get a
have
handful of East Coasters.
We have a handful of East Coasters. New
Okay.
York, North Carolina.
And your New York, let's say I have a New York student. Are you telling them to wholesale in New York? Or are you telling them to do it virtually somewhere else?
It depends.
Depends on what your budget is. Depends on your sophistication. I mean, because wholesaling in New York, you got to pony up.
Mhm.
If you don't necessarily have that type of budget, I'd say dealing with those attorneys and everything else, just find a virtual spot.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot easier to get your first one done. If you feel like you do have the budget and you have the know-how, we can go virtual for a little bit. Then we can come back and start doing deals here.
Right.
But it's going to take a lot more cash to actually get a deal to the finish line in New York.
Okay. Love that. Are there states that you guys point your students to a little bit more frequently that you think are wholesale friendly, good markets for them to be in?
It's always like, let's start in your backyard. If we can make your backyard work, let's make your backyard work.
Why would it work? Why would it not work?
New York, I think, is a really good example of the attorney state. You have to have a huge amount of earnest money. The earnest money goes hard. That is a very dynamic thing that I think a newer person may not be used to.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't work. But really, unless you're in a super small town, and pace is probably going to show people differently, let's get to a slightly bigger metro where we can do a lot of deals.
I think you're right about that. I think it's like if you want to scale
Yeah.
and you want to do more than like one deal a month or one deal every 2 months, like you got to go into a larger metro.
You got to go into a little bit larger metro. I love Florida.
Mm.
Florida's getting beat up right now, but it's starting to bounce back a little bit. Florida's always nice. So like with Marie, we're like, hey, let's go down into Florida.
Yeah. Especially considering New York, they're going to have a socialist.
That's crazy.
It's
that,
super.
That
it's
one
super.
is nuts. That one's concerning.
That's pretty wild.
It's wild, but like if you really think about how that benefits Florida, I mean, New York, for us on the West Coast,
It's been feeding Florida.
yeah, it's going to feed. New York is going to just go down to Florida,
Yeah.
right? The laws in Florida are amazing. No state tax. Like even Ron DeSantis is trying to get rid of the property taxes. Like it's pretty cool watching what's going on there. So you're going to send a lot of business owners down to Florida, and they're going to escape New York. And so you will see massive growth in Florida, whether it's wholesaling land, right, to
It's
builders.
huge in Florida.
It's huge.
They sell a lot of land in Florida.
Yeah, because you've got nobody can keep up with the building, and which I think is great. Like I'm building 15 houses in Seattle right now. We're making like $100,000 per house, and it's like a side project. We're just doing infill lots. Like we found a little.
How'd you stumble up? Is that just
What's the reason?
someone put it in front of you, or you just said, "I want to"? Okay.
Student brought it to me, said, "Hey, I want to do this." We had AI drum up the plans.
Did you?
Yeah, it's like it's crazy.
And they actually work?
They got through the city like immediately. Like no, like I think we had a couple like red line items because they feel like they have to, and they came back. We had AI run through it again, fixed the red light items, got submitted. We're already like shovel ready within like 2 months, which is great.
That's crazy.
That's legit.
It's good, yeah. And you
see civil engineers being on the chopping block for
well,
AI.
you also have civil engineers that it's in their best interest to not get you through immediately, because then you have to pay them for the red line item, and that's how they make their money. It's the same thing with attorneys. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna draw this out. We're gonna have multiple conversations.
The attorney part. Let's not go down that conversation.
Horrible. So the land thing is huge. I think land wholesaling is going to continue to be bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're talking like larger swaths of property now you've got data centers. I've got a student named Duran Levy, who's just got his first piece of land for a data center that he's building. He's a hotelier, like he owns hotels in Philly and restaurants in Philly. And he's like, I want to go to where the puck is going, right? Like I want to go to data centers. And the biggest problem with that is that you've got to find a data center that's close enough to a power plant. And so you look at like wholesalers that are out there, you go, all right, guys, you want to make like $200,000 on a piece of land, just wholesaling one deal, go pull up every power plant and then pull up every piece of land near that power plant and then do a campaign and literally text every single one of those sellers and start having conversations with them. You can almost overpay for the land and you'll still get a buyer.
You'll still get that sold.
Yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, and you guys know this well, you're teaching your students this. People that are in the Airbnb world, sorry to beat up on Airbnb, and are mentally still in like, no, I'm going to stay with Airbnb. It's like, guys, the world changes. Everything changes. It's like, you're a married dude, right? You don't say and treat your wife the same way you treated her originally, right? You guys have both matured. You've both grown as human beings. You've learned how to communicate with her. You have adapted in your personal relationships, your professional relationships, in your portfolio. You have adapted your whole life. And people that do not adapt, real estate investing is nothing but I get a skill that will open up the next door, that will let me get a next skill that will let me open up the next door. And that just continues to go on and on and on. And your checks go from like $7,000 to $20,000 to like now you're working on a $300,000 deal, right? And I imagine your students that are wholesaling land are getting big, fat, juicy rips on some of these deals, which is awesome.
Where were we going at? What else would we do with the low budget or stay in your area? I think if you are in a major area and it's good, but like in Phoenix, I'd tell someone, let's look into a semi-smaller place because I just don't think you're going to be able to get a good cost per lead.
Yeah, it's
and you don't have
expensive,
the
yeah.
skills to pay for that and like take
Such
that
good
wherewithal
advice.
at the beginning.
Such good advice. I see people like go spend $5,000 on PPL, and I'm
Out the
like,
gate.
you don't know how to close. You don't have anybody going on that appointment
Yeah.
with you.
Yep.
You just here, dude. Let me have the $5,000, and I'll just light it on fire for you, and
Exactly.
we'll at least get to watch something happen, right? Otherwise, these leads are just going to nowhere.
Exactly.
But you guys get a student that has sales skills already in like the car business. That dude goes and spends $5,000 on PPL. It's like lights out. He's gonna go
Yes.
make a ton of money.
Ripped.
Yeah. So this is why like getting involved with somebody like a Deal Champs is so important, is because you as an investor need to not ask the question of where do you get started? The question should be, where do I get started as an individual? What strategy? What lead generation? Do I partner with people? Should I go, I call it orbiting. Should I go orbit somebody else inside your community? Meaning I join and I go and hang out with the guy that has all the skills, and I go, I'll do your lead follow-up. I'll be your lead manager for 3 to 6 months while you guys, get deals done, and then you can go out on your own. Like there's so many different ways to win, but you have to have a mentor. You have to have somebody who guides and looks at you as the individual, like you guys have the capability of doing, and saying, you need to do this, avoid that. Tommy's doing this because he's good at this, but you need to do this because that's what you're meant to do.
Let's ease into that. We can get
do you
there.
get people that have like FOMO? They join in your community and they see people winning and they're like, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go build a
And
thing.
we have to calm it down.
Yeah. So we do a game plan call right when they join, just to
Okay.
get a specific game plan for them based on where they're at, what their skills are, what their budget is. Because otherwise, you're just going to go in still lost, seeing other students doing lots of different things, and it's kind of a shiny object syndrome thing again.
Yeah.
But to know what to specifically do for yourself based on where you're at, what your skills are, and what your budget is, that's a really helpful exercise to just get locked in and go do that thing.
Freaking love that. Are you guys starting to build your portfolio and going after larger assets yet? Or are you still in growth mode?
So I just joined a multifamily mastermind this year
Sick.
while I was on vacation in Kauai, because I was like, we need to go do bigger deals.
Yeah.
And so we've been putting offers in. We've been getting really close to deals. We're trying to stay 50 or less units and take down those kind of units. So we're not competing with the big monsters and institutions. And it's a different game at that level anyways,
Yeah.
with all the financing and everything, and less mom and pop owners, all that kind of stuff. So we're getting into that, and we're getting close on some deals.
I love it. That was me a couple of years ago, and it was scary. I stayed in single family way too long. Like if I could go back and give
Really?
myself, the reliability of single family,
It's just so comfortable.
it's comfortable and it's also so frequent.
Yeah.
Like a deal comes along, the deal of a lifetime in single family comes along every hour.
That's very true. And commercial's so much slower.
It's like every 6 months, 9 months, whatever. And so you got to be really patient. So let's imagine I'm brand new. Uncertainty is the worst thing for a new person. It's like, you're telling me I have to make an unknown
We've been
amount of
making offers for 2 months since we got focused on it, and we've been getting close. There's a couple we've gotten close that we were really excited about, 40 units, and one was 48 units, but we haven't got there yet. But we're only 2 months in.
Yeah, that's light for like multifamily, right? Single family, it's like, wait, why haven't I gotten a deal yet? What's going on, right? Single family, like if you pull the right list and you do the right outreach, you could potentially get a deal today. That's how fast it is. And so where I got stuck is that I was like, okay, well, wholesale is not just paying my bills, it's helping me build my team, and I need that active income coming in. And that was a really hard thing to let go of in order for me to like go into the next phase. And I'd say if I could go back to 2017, I probably would have stopped wholesaling and upgraded. And I still wholesale when people send me stuff. I'm like, that's not a good fit, but I know the right person.
Mhm.
But I'm doing it like once a month versus back then I was doing 3 or 4 a week.
Yeah.
Right. And built a whole entire business out after it. And then I built a single family portfolio of 300 houses, of which I've sold 50 in the last like 8 months. I'm selling like one every single week right now because I'm 1031ing into things that have less management, less issues. I'm getting away from regular rentals, and I'm rolling that stuff into, like, I have an RV park in Montana that not Montana, Big Spring, Texas. I bought it 6 months ago. I've never been there. Prints 30 grand a month, free cash flow. I don't know a single thing about it. And it was easier to buy that one RV park than it was to buy one single family.
Yeah.
But I acquired those skills along the way. It's not
Right.
like I would not advise people to go, let me go to RV parks. You need to go through single family. And what's beautiful about single family is the reliability and the frequency of those transactions that you can go, I can get a deal a week. I can quit my job if I choose to do so, or I can do it on the side. Then I can build a portfolio on the side that at some point you don't wholesale it at some point. You know, I did it 10 years. I should have done it 4, probably.
You did it for 10 years. When did you start wholesaling?
2012, I started wholesaling, and I was fixing and flipping for other people as a contractor. So I was already in the game. And
Did you know what the opportunity was at that time? Did you know 2012 was 2012?
no, I had no clue. Bro, I didn't even know what an assignment fee was when I got an assignment fee. Like in 2012, I made 25 grand, and the mentor that helped me, my deal champs back then, I get this house under contract for 150, and she says, I'll buy it from you at 175. That's how we're going to do this. I'm like, yeah, but where do I get the 150 from? Like, wow, you're dumb, aren't you? Like, I will buy the contract from you. I'm like, buy that. That's how little I knew when I got my first deal in 2012. So I knew nothing about assignments, nothing about wholesale, nothing about any of that kind of stuff. But I also told myself I was going to get started in real estate for 7 years prior to that. And it was like a human being that actually helped me get my deal. Same thing you guys are doing. It's like, if somebody's watching this, by the way, how can people get a hold of Deal Champs? Like, how can people get to you?
And go to dealchamps.com.
You guys own dealchamps.com?
Dude.
Available.
How is that even
Sniper, dude.
possible?
Sniper. One
That-
day,
Very proud.
dealchamps.com.
You lucky
Buy
son
it.
of a gun.
Yeah.
We would have thought somebody would have bought that thing, like freaking Carlos Reyes or something. Okay, so I go to dealchamps.com. If I want to figure out if you guys are the right mentor for me, what am I doing? Am I booking a call with you guys?
Yeah, you just go to dealchamps.com. You see an apply now button. You click
Okay.
on that. You fill out your information. And then we jump on a call with you and see if it's the right fit.
That's pretty good. You guys get on a call with these
We
people?
get on a call with them.
I will never do that.
Yeah.
You guys are giving a level of love and service that a lot of people just don't do. That's awesome.
Very hands-on.
Very
Yeah,
hands-on.
That's freaking great, man. Dealchamps.com and meetups. How can I get to meetups?
We post them on social media.
I'd say follow us on social media would be the best way.
Okay, say your social media. I know they are. I follow both of you guys, but what are they so that the audience can pull them up?
So if you follow mine, it's at Dean Rogers Real Estate.
And mine is at Strat Daddy.
Yeah, you are Strat Daddy, bro.
He is the
Thank
Strat Daddy.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, guys. Are
Of course, bro.
you
Thank
guys,
for
so
having
much
us.
for
you guys
having
going
us.
to do some other podcasts while you're in town?
Yep.
We
We've
gotta
been
go
ripping
with
on him, dude.
Cortez.
Oh,
after
cool.
this.
I haven't seen him in a bit. I'm in a group chat with him, but I haven't seen him in a while. Who else you guys got?
We had Jamil, you.
You gonna go see Steve?
We had Rafael
We saw
Cortez.
Steve
We had
over
Steve
yesterday.
Trang yesterday.
Let's see what's it.
We had
What's
Zach
today?
Keeps,
Zach Keeps is
Nick
good.
Perry.
Love Nick.
Who else should we connect with?
I mean, Monday we do wholesale hotline. I'd love to have you guys on there, but you're not going to stick around. You guys can come on virtual. We'll bring you on virtual.
We'll come
Okay.
back in person.
It's fun. Like in Brent's studio, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll come back
Definitely.
for the energy.
yeah. Please, it's great. We'll do a whole session. We'll do something fun.
I want to connect with Cody. Honestly.
Berber,
No,
Barton.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He's not really doing real estate though.
I know.
He's buying businesses. Him and I own 4 things together, but we're not like. He just texted me this morning. Hey, let's get caught up on phone calls. We own 40. We own like 35 rentals together, and 3 companies together. He runs all of those things, but we're not actively like acquiring more with each other. But he built a business consulting business.
That's what I think he's doing really well with that. Like,
He's
I
doing
like,
good.
I like what he's doing with that.
Yeah, he's a super smart kid. Honestly, Cody was one of the biggest blessings of my life. Met him in 2018 when I decided to go away from Homevestors. I was Homevestors for 6 years roughly. And when I decided to go out on my own, I learned that like I could generate leads without Homevestors. Think about that. I was in wholesale for 6 years before I realized
Paying $800.
That's pretty wild.
I was paying $1,100 a phone call.
It's crazy. My uncle
A
still owns
phone
one.
call?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
crazy. The home investor stuff
They're spending close to $2,000 in Phoenix right now.
on a phone call.
Jeez.
Yeah, one of my students, Danny Gish, shout out to Danny Gish. She's awesome. She just bought a Homevestor franchise. And I was like, why did you do that? She's like, well, it still makes sense at $2,000 a call. I'm like, how? She goes, well, we're flipping everything. Like they're not doing wholesale. We are taking everything down. We're flipping a lot of houses. We're making $150,000.
If they're in a market where the margins are there, then
I still don't think that makes sense. Like if you could just run a little bit of marketing, you could outpace that $2,000 a phone call.
some people just want the business in a box. They want to.
It was good for
streamline.
me. It was good for me to just be in the living room for years and like just rely on the phone ringing. I needed that. Like
That's true.
a
And
lot of
you
your-
became an amazing salesman.
if I didn't have that, I probably would have never figured it out. I needed the hand holding. Like, you know, some of your students are like, tell me where should I get my PPL leads from? I don't want to do PPC.
Yeah.
I want to do PPL for the first 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
That's what I needed. I literally needed somebody to go, get your leads from here. Just write a check. Your phone will ring. That's all I have to do? Yes. Then answer the phone, go into an appointment and buy it at this price. That's all I have to do? Yes. And it changed my life forever. So I didn't figure out till 2018 that I could generate leads on my own. And that's when I met Cody. And Cody was so good at generating leads, but he could not close couldn't close a sliding glass door. You know, like my first week meeting Cody, this is what happened. So Cody reaches out on Steve Trang podcast in 2018. I was on there for the first time. It's like the first time I started getting on podcasts. And Cody reaches out, we connect, and I gave my cell phone out on that podcast. We go and meet at a freaking McDonald's. And I go, open up your...
That's a solid spot, dude.
Yeah, I drive by it almost every day. So I go, all right, if you really have leads, like you told me in the text message, pull them out. And he pulls out his Podio, back when Podio was like the CRM.
The one.
Now it's like everybody uses GoHighLevel, but so he pulls out Podio and he had like 50 leads, but 4 were really hot. So I took those 4, and this is 7 years ago, 8 years. Holy crap, dude. So coming on 8 years ago. Wow. Life going by fast, boys. We got
I know.
It's terrifying.
So Desiree Lindberger was one of the first people I called, and we bought her house on Wolf Street. I bought it for 110. I signed it. I bought it for 110, sold it to Cody for 120. Cody sold it to his buyer for 130. So we both made 10 grand. And that was in like 2 days of meeting each other, right? Desiree, I took her 110 grand. I go, Desiree, what are you going to do with that 110 grand? She's like, I'm going to go pay off my van and I'm going to go put a down payment on a house. I'm like, how about you give me the 100 grand and I'll go use it to flip houses and I'll give you a check for $1,000 a month. And I've been paying Desiree $1,000 a month for the last 7 years.
No.
Yeah. She texts me. I'll FaceTime her all the time. She'll like, I'm on stage the other day. She's FaceTiming me like, hey, where are you at in the world? Anyway, Cody Barton was one of the most important people in my real estate career. Awesome dude. Did you text him? Are you guys going to connect?
No, I'll text him.
Okay, yeah, you should try. Him and I haven't talked to him for a while, but we're talking tomorrow. Who else are you trying to get on while you're in town?
I don't know. Who should we connect with?
When you said Carlos, I was texting with him. He just got back from Houston.
Yeah, I just saw him this morning.
He wasn't sure if he was going to be able to do a podcast. We're trying to maybe squeeze him in tomorrow morning.
I would get with Carlos. Wholesale hotline, we get like 200,000 downloads a month, so that's a good one for you guys to get on. Cody Sperber, are you guys friends with him?
No,
Not like that.
I know Xavier really well.
I love Xavier. What about Brian Apples? Man, I got to connect you guys with them. Okay, if you guys end up doing the Carlos podcast, send me a text, and I'll send Brian over there when you guys are over there so he can introduce himself to you guys. And
Okay.
maybe you guys can just use the studio and rip one with Bryant and Cody Sperber's team.
Okay, hell yeah.
Dealchamps.com, everybody. We'll see you on another episode.
One of the most common questions I get is, what title company do I use? What title company am I using in Arizona, Atlanta, California, Texas, whatever? The answer for many years was a different title company in every state, because not every state handles transactions the same way. Now, the answer is one title company. It's Creative Title and Escrow. Go to getcreativetitle.com/podcast. You can learn how they will do SubTo deals, seller finance deals, cash transactions, gator deals, double close, transactional lending, whatever, even novation agreements. There's really nothing that Creative Title and Escrow can't do. To learn how brand new investors are using Creative Title all the way up to the biggest players in the industry, head over to getcreativetitle.com/podcast.